Hi there. I'm going to wait for some people to join in. I'm back. Yes. It was actually just about 3 years that I didn't do a live. And the other day was quite successful. So I thought, let's keep going because things are moving at a rapid pace right now. They are. We'll just wait a couple of minutes. We'll see if they'll connect some people in here. But yes, so much going on. I meant to do this one at 3, but unfortunately I tried to put makeup on for the first time in pretty much 3 years. And I didn't do a very good job, and then I couldn't get it off. So, yeah. Oh, we've got one there. That's good. 2. Nice to see you. We've got a big lineup today because, as I said, things are moving at a very rapid pace since the inauguration of Donald Trump. And yeah, 2 of you, let's come on in. I hope everyone's doing well. But yes, I knew things were going to move fast, but I didn't think quite this fast. And Donald Trump didn't waste any time, Inauguration Day, signing off a whole lot of executive orders. And one of those orders, of course, was the withdrawal of the U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization. That's big. Except yesterday, and after this video, I do encourage you to go back to my feed of yesterday because I break that down, the executive order to depart the WHO. So please go through it. But I'm going to go through some high points right now with you. Okay, right off the hop, the purpose of that executive order was, and this is the high point, in addition, the WHO continues to demand unfairly onerous payments from the United States, far out of proportion with other countries' assessed payments. China, with a population of 1.4 billion, pays 90% less than the United States. Well, that's quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. What I read into that is that this is not really a withdrawal. This is he's laying the groundwork for a renegotiation. Remember, Donald Trump is a businessman, right? Yeah. Okay. So the other thing that we really had to look at was the executive order says the United States intends to leave the World Health Organization. Yes. So the intention, and then, of course, the fact that he's laying the groundwork for a renegotiation is important. And again, you're just catching in, jumping in right now. You want to go back to my feed of yesterday, my timeline, and you will see where I've broken all of this down. So the big thing is, we've got to stop, hooting and hollering. And I'm Canadian, so honestly, it doesn't affect me at this point, but I know it's going to. It's going to affect all countries because, again, the United States paying so much and actually being the largest funder of the World Health Organization, well, of course, that's impactful, isn't it? It is. It would threaten the very existence of the World Health Organization. Yes. Okay. The other thing I wanted to bring up in that executive order was inactions. It says that it's going to pause payments to the World Health Organization. Yes. So again, intend, pause, not stop payments. Again, this would lead me to believe that this is about a reorganization or potentially a new organization because of the previous corruption of the WHO to make Donald Trump the hero, because that's the position he likes to play, right? Yeah. Okay. The other thing that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration is that there is a World Health Organization constitution. And in that constitution, it says that if anyone wants to depart, it's a year. And it's actually unprecedented. But it would be a year wait. So it wouldn't take place till January of 2026. The other thing to consider, and of course, that was never disclosed last time when Donald Trump departed the World Health Organization. But it was the same. I covered that at the time in 2020. There was a year wait period. Now, the thing that a lot of people aren't quite understanding is that this most likely will require congressional approval. Yes. There's going to be opposition. Of course there is. So that type of thing can tie this up for some time. So what we have to understand is that there is due process here. But I think Donald Trump is going to use that to his advantage. To set up a new organization, or again, reform the World Health Organization to regain the confidence of the people. Because so many people around the world believe that they are absolutely corrupt. And they wouldn't be wrong, right? But I don't think that the new version is going to be any less corrupt. I think it's going to become enforceable. Now, remember, back during COVID, and what we need to understand is that I'm seeing, particularly in the pardon area, Biden's pardons, Fauci, for example. Well, everybody is like, he is a criminal against humanity. No, he was just taking his marching orders from the World Health Organization like everyone else was. There was a pandemic treaty in place. This is what people don't understand. The World Health Organization on January 30th of 2020 took the reins. They were granted the international management of COVID. But instead of them being front and center, well, they deferred it. It went through the health departments. So in Canada, for example, it went through Theresa Tam. She was the next in line. She was taking her marching orders from the World Health Organization. That wasn't going through government. Remember, Trudeau was in the House, coming out for his daily address. Government was shut down. Same in the States, because there was actually, it was the same thing. There was a chain of command, and it was already laid out in a pandemic treaty. Right now, they are seeking amendments, and part of this with Donald Trump is that they're pulling from the negotiations of those amendments. Now, that opens a whole new can of worms, right? Like, the biggest funder of the WHO is pulling. How in the world can a pandemic treaty the amendments be ratified without the United States? Because obviously they are a huge part of the global scene. Air travel. So we have to really pay attention to what's going on. The other thing that was in that executive order was the fact that they are looking to move public health in the United States into the realm of national security. Yes. That's pretty major in terms of medical freedom. Not trying to freak you out, just inform you. But we can't take anything that's happening right now at face value. Nothing. This is a new world order, and they told us this in 2020. They said nothing will ever be the same. And now we are on hyperspeed. Now, the other thing Donald Trump did in an executive order, and I haven't covered on Facebook yet, but that was the withdrawal from the Paris Accord. Well, you can't just pull. There was a 3-year window from 2016 to 19 that countries could opt out if they had signed. They could have changed their minds. He could have done that last time he was in office, Donald Trump, but he didn't. And again, these are legally binding contracts. So it's going to require time to iron all of this out. Nothing is going to just happen on a dime. It's not. Not when Donald Trump barks his edicts. Because again, this is international. And we're dealing with the United Nations. I think this move might also be part of a renegotiation. And there's been all sorts of talk over the years about reforming the United Nations. So again, this is something that we have to, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we are not seeing. And we're not meant to see it yet. But I like to stay one step ahead and at least keep our minds clear so we can start picking up the clues. Okay. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. We've got a few in now. Wonderful. Yeah, I got some good views on my my last video on Inauguration Day. So I was really excited about that. And again, with things moving so quickly, it's important to get back on this. Okay, number 2. Today we have Project Stargate. The AI technology. $500 billion investment in the United States. And of course, they're selling it, this AI-driven future. Part of that is the delivery of mRNA vaccines, like a cancer vaccine. So this is the promise. Now, I did cover this on Telegram on my private channel last week. The cancer vaccine is going to be marketed as both a preventative, like a vaccine is normally a preventative, or supposedly so. That's how they like to market them. But it's also going to be marketed as a cure. Hi, Madonna. It's going to be marketed as a cure in companioning with traditional cancer therapies like chemotherapy. So they're basically going to slot it in. Now, they're selling this on personalized medicine. And what this is actually the gate opening to precision medicine. Personalized medicine driven by AI. Yes. But just know that it's got biotechnology written all over it. And part of it is this mRNA technology. You see, I've talked about this quite a bit. All the vaccines are going to be swapped out for mRNA. For years, they've been allowing for all this talk about vaccine ingredients. And it's funny because they allow for that. They allow the conversation to be dominated by vaccine ingredients. And even in terms of the COVID jab, they allowed for that. But at the end of the day, it's the technology that we need to be talking about. And all of that ingredient talk is a way to keep our eye off that ball. But let's just know that this $500 billion investment is all about mRNA. It is. It's all about precision medicine. See, this is why, like in Canada, for example, they're not busy fixing up our decrepit healthcare system. No! Why would they? They know what's coming. They don't want to fix it. They need it in shambles. They do. Because then they can justify the insertion of precision medicine. That's the reality of it. This is a slow manipulation, and the quicker that we understand that, every step of the way is a manipulation. These are master magicians, master marketers. They know exactly what they're doing. Now, Project Stargate, and I have to comment on Donald Trump and his names, Operation Warp Speed, Project Stargate, all futuristic. But again, now it's here, right? What we have to understand is that now we see the addition of U.S. Entities that have been listed as partners in the development of this new technology. Oracle, for example. What you won't see anywhere is the lead partner with Trump, and that is MGX out of Abu Dhabi, UAE. Now, I know I keep talking about Islam, and a lot of people aren't, they get their back against the wall. No. Islam isn't inserting itself into our world. They are, but they're doing it corporately. Okay, so MGX, the name, it stands for metagenome. Genes, right? Now, it has institutional investors, but its foundational partners are Mubadala and G42. These are both sovereign wealth funds of the Abu Dhabi royal family. Yes, that's what's going on, guys. Now, G42 was invested in TikTok, ByteDance, which is the parent company of TikTok. Huge. Right now, these sovereign wealth funds are dominating the AI space, and they want to be the hub of AI in the world. Not to mention, the UAE is right now the testing ground for all this AI technology. And they are working in conjunction with the United Nations on AI governance. Very important. The governance isn't coming from the West, kids. It's coming from Islam. I know a lot of people get a little confused about the UAE because, you can go to Dubai and you can party and you can do all these things. But the thing is, it's actually on a personal, on a familial level in the UAE and Dubai particularly, the law is civil, is Sharia. But corporate law is on the civil law. It's a bit of a split. But at the end of the day, these are still Islamic nations, Islamic values, and that is being inserted within the social media space, of course. On this platform, we have Saudi Arabia, Kingdom Holdings, right? We have the Qatar Sovereign Investment Fund. Mubadala is invested in Telegram, the sovereign wealth fund of the UAE. And what was I going to say? Yes, so at the end of the day, guys, these are the lead investor, the lead partners for Donald Trump. Now, the other thing is a lot of people aren't aware, is that the UAE has also invested, before Trump got back in, with Biden, into green energy in the United States. In Canada, the UAE is definitely pushing in. Saskatchewan, my province, just opened a trade office in Dubai, 2022. Bilateral trade agreement with the government of Canada. The Abu Dhabi police have a cooperative agreement with the Canadian Police College, the RCMP. Yes. That was 2019, before the police started running over freedom protesters with horses. These cooperations are all about training and information sharing. Guess where else they have cooperative partnerships? Washington, D.C. Yes. LAPD, Boston Police, FBI. Yes, indeed. All about information sharing, training. These are authoritarian monarchies, let's just be clear. So these values, through corporations, are infiltrating our space. Now we wonder where our freedom is going? Well, it's going to global governance. Remember, the UAE is where the World Government Summit is held every single year. It doesn't travel. Dubai. We have to understand, the world deliberately, and the media deliberately, keeps us ignorant of that side of the world. All we see is Israel, the boogeyman. No. Actually, it was Trump who, his son-in-law, was investing Saudi dollars into Israeli startups. It was a huge controversy. So we've got to open our brain cells a bit here and get over the propaganda. Because, well, since 2023, Saudi Arabia has invested in just about every single Middle Eastern country through development funds. UAE too. Saudi Arabia is gearing up to be the mineral hub of the world, and the UAE the transport hub. And in fact, the UAE in Dubai, that's where the World Health Organization has a distribution office. Again, these are very important points that we have to understand. We're not seeing the whole picture. The only reason I do is because I read the Arab news. It's because I read the media from the other side of the world. Not the MSM, yes, I do, so I can translate it for you, but this is, they're not covering this. Very important, guys. Now, another thing I wanted to update you on, the other day I talked about TikTok, right? And what did I say? I said that in a U.S. entity will most likely have Islamic investment. Saudi Arabia, potentially Qatar, UAE. Well, just last night, Prince Alawid of Kingdom Holdings, Saudi Arabia, expressed interest in the U.S. entity of TikTok. Yes, indeed he did. Again, that is on my Facebook feed, so go take a look. Crazy times. So many people believed that Donald Trump was going to be the hero. And it's funny because in Canada, they somehow think that's going to affect us. And it is, eventually, yes. But no. Another thing that I know it's going to piss off a lot of people, but you can always count on me to tell you what you do not want to hear. And that is RFK. I don't believe they're going to confirm him. I don't. I'm already seeing that. The table being set to that in multiple articles, in little bits and pieces. But he doesn't have the whole confidence of the Republican Party. And I do think that this might open the door. And I know you're going to hate me for this, but to Bill Gates. I do. There is going to be a restructuring of the World Health Organization or a new organization. First, Trump is going to, and he says in the executive order that he's moving public health into the national security realm. This is big stuff, guys. And I think Bill Gates is going to get slotted in here somewhere. And I think he might just become the Secretary of Health and Human Services in the States, particularly with this $500 billion investment into Project Stargate, into the mRNA technology. It's, I think it's inevitable. Don't know yet, but I think that there's going to be the bait and switch on RFK. I do. I think that's the reason that the media continues to hammer that he's some sort of anti-vaxxer when he never has been. He's not an anti-vaxxer. He's a proponent. He vaccinated his whole family. He wants to make safe vaccines because, again, these mRNA vaccines, genetic amendments, not vaccines, they are integral in this AI technology. Again, 2019, I'm heading to Ecuador and I'm going through Houston, and the whole way to the plane, through those little corridors, is the DNA will be your data. The DNA will be your data. I get to Ecuador, it's the same thing. This is where we're going. We know it. Those of us who have been paying attention, we understand this. And a lot of people thought that the election of Donald Trump was going to pull that back, but no, it's going to accelerate things. It is. And it's also, again, the insertion of authoritarian dictatorships into the financial matrix of these projects in the United States has to be a great concern. Now, it's funny because China is always a great concern, isn't it? Huge concern. Well, why aren't they? What? This is why I know that they've been using China as this adversary, because people react to communism. We're still coming off the tail end of the Cold War with that thought process. But for some reason, we think that the dictators of the Middle East, and they are dictators, they're not democratic at all. They're royal families, and they rule with an iron fist. In fact, everyone thinks that Saudi Arabia is mellowing out because MBS, the young prince, is out there romancing the world. They beheaded more people this year than they have in recent history. Oh, but they're giving women rights. The first proponents of and women getting out there fighting for the right to drive in Saudi Arabia, MBS made it legal, and then he threw her in jail. Her and her buddies, where they were tortured. Like, guys, this is significant. In the UAE, you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of their justice. You don't. So they can make it look like they have changed, but no. This is global governance, and they're a big part of it. And I don't think people quite understand. For example, Mubadala, the UAE Sovereign Wealth Fund, has $300 billion in assets. G42 has 1.5 trillion. That's a lot, huh? Oh, one little country. Not to mention in Dubai. It's now becoming the business hub, the UAE and Saudi Arabia. In fact, just a couple months ago, MBS issued an edict to all major corporations, banks, that they were to open a regional office in Riyadh. And they did. They followed in suit. Even the Rothschild Bank. Yes. They are the puppeteers. They are. I'm not one of the no Jews, no news. When I'm studying the New World Order, they're really, it's Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar that are dominating right now. And they are in investments. You're not seeing Israeli investment all over the place. You're seeing their investment. For example, the three nations, their royalty has bought up the Egypt coast. A lot of people don't know that. That's what they're doing. They are making that region the tourism hub. They are taking control. And again, through development funds like Saudi Arabia, they're going into Africa. And of course, nobody's mentioning a word because, those filthy colonialists over there. But they're cutting deals with royalty yet again in Africa for their minerals. There's a lot to cover, and I do on my Telegram channel. So, guys, I'd really love to see you. I know that there's a cost, but, I kind of need to eat. $50 Canadian forever. I'll never come back to you for cash. And $40 US. And that will include a monthly publication as I get more subscribers, because I need more to justify the time requirement to do that. It's not an easy feat. Again, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I truly am. But I think it's best to be informed. And I hope I did that today. And again, I urge you to go back to yesterday's, my disclosure of the U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization. Please do that. You'll see it detailed bit by bit. And you can take a look at it for yourself and see the document with a whole lot of loopholes and a deliberately vague executive order. And again, if you want to come to Telegram, take a look, please let me know. Yeah, my personal thoughts, we are being deceived as hell. William, yes, unfortunately, yes. That's the way it is. I can't impress enough, guys. This is when we must be the heroes in our own stories. We have to stop looking for heroes. We really do. The whole reason of gaining all of this knowledge is so that we can transmute it into action, into plotting a path that aligns with us and our souls. This is so important, guys. We must do this. I was absolutely horrified, again, with the Canadian election and Trump, how many people seem to forget everything they've learned over the last 5 years so quickly. Remember, Trump is a businessman. That's what he is first and foremost. You know how much money him and Elon Musk and all their shareholders have made since his election? It's all about the money. It's funny because right now, the spiritualists call this the Great Awakening, right? They also the age of Aquarius. Well, what we have to do is go backwards to the last age of Aquarius. That was the fall of the Roman Empire. And that's where the spiritualists stop. They talk about the new earth that's going to come. The fall of the Roman Empire was to Islam. Yes, it was. This is cyclical. It is. Now, Islam isn't going to come to the rest of the world in veils and burqas. No, it's embedded in UN Agenda 2030. It is in the beliefs, the foundational principles. This is what we need to understand. And I'm going to be breaking that down in some lives coming up. I think it's really important because, again, you're saying, yeah, you say that, Martine. Well, where's the beef? Okay, well, I'm going to show you the beef. I do it on Telegram all the time, but we'll start discussing that here as well. Yeah, Madonna, no one is going to save us, not even Trump. No. He's the Trump card. He's the NWO Trump card. I'll tell you, when I started saying that in 2020, everybody wanted to come for my head for that too. Just like when I said a year and a half before the vaccine mandates that they would mandate it. I was the enemy number one. Sorry, guys. This isn't meant to be dismal. This is meant to empower you to take the bull by the horns, to understand the situation at hand. And again, invest into yourselves instead of thinking that, well, someone's going to come and, the white knight on the horse. No, that's fairy tales, and we're definitely not going into fairy tale land. We're not. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I really appreciate it. And again, if you want to join my Telegram channel, please let me know, and I will make it happen for you. You can send me a message through Messenger. Have a great day, guys.